Hello class, welcome to another discussion. We are looking at instructional design for e-learning using the ADDIE method, a structured approach to creating engaging online learning experiences. Today we are looking at what the ADDIE method is about, the framework, analysis phases, design phases, development phases, and then implementation and evaluation. The key phases of the ADDIE method, which is actually a structured framework guiding e-learning course development, include number one, analysis, number two, design, number three, development, number four, implementation and evaluation, each ensuring that it is learner-centered. The benefit for utilizing the ADDIE method is to ensure that outcomes are clear, processes are iterative, especially considering that they are all for digital learning environment. Now, if as an instructor you don't utilize the ADDIE method, you can likely encounter a failure called the Cartesian failure, where you skip foundational analysis, and of course you are likely going to encounter high failure rate, because studies have shown that up to 60% of e-learning initiatives fail due to insufficient upfront analysis. And of course, this impacts the general engagement and outcomes. The framework in simple terms: it starts with the analysis phase, which is focused on understanding the learner needs and content. The design and development phase, which is basically planning course objective, creating engaging learning materials, and access for effective delivery. The implementation phase obviously is about deploying what has been designed, and the evaluation phase is to ensure that what is being created meets the needs and the goal. Let us look at the analysis phase. It answers the question who and why. At this phase, you are targeting to identify who the learners are, and with this you are able to create learner personas that gives you an insight into who the learner is, from getting demographic insight around their skill levels and the learning motivation. Of course, this is not just going to end there, but help you set clear and measurable goals, which of course reduces the risk of having programs that don't actually meet the need. In the design phase, which is obviously the blueprint, you are looking at mapping the learning objective in such a way that it targets cognitive skills with proper rigor. Of course, you look at content storyboarding and implementing instructional strategies like simulations, spaced repetition to increase learner engagement and retention. The goal here is to balance design elements such that it integrates pedagogy, technology, and learner interaction so that whatever is achieved is effective. The development phase obviously focuses on building, from course materials to the use of digital tools, and of course how everything works together to drive learner motivation. Media-rich e-learning improve learner motivation and knowledge retention by up to 60%. And that is why it is effective to ensure that you integrate multimedia to achieve this goal. At the implementation and evaluation phase, I like to think of this as making sure that what you are implementing, you have a second eye to look at. Is this really effective, and is it helping me drive the goal and objective I want to achieve? From course deployment to formative feedback collection, summative evaluation, and continuous refinement. All these work together to make sure that This model helps you achieve your goal. And lastly, the ADDIE method is more like a cycle and not a straight line. It supports iterative cycle concept such that while you are progressing on the implementation, you are looking at what is working and what is not working. You are gathering feedback and you are integrating the feedback to improve the outcome. And of course, the goal is to make sure that you drive the process following every systematic steps in the framework, avoiding shortcuts as an instructor. This is definitely going to ensure a viable outcome. In conclusion, it is important to make sure that you analyze the learner needs, set a clear blueprint, develop engaging content, and to make sure that your implementation is clear and efficient while incorporating feedback during, of course, evaluation. Thank you very much. I would like to welcome your questions at this time.